Welcome back to Movies in the Man Cave, everybody. I'm Cody.
I'm Jared.
If you couldn't tell by the music already, we have a theme this week, and that theme is top 10 movies about the Jamaican bobsled team. So,
Yep, so here we go.
Nope. There's too many actually to put on a list like that. So what instead we're going to do is talk about video game movies.
That's right.
They were video games and got turned into movies, not the other way around.
Yeah.
There's like a billion of those. So
No kidding.
not really a top 10, not really a worst 10, just kind of a discussion.
A list of them, and we'll talk about them.
Yeah. So we're going to start with Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. I was actually a big fan of it when I was a kid. It had Jean-Claude Van Damme in it, and I think Raul Julia. Is that how you pronounce
I can't say his name.
Yeah,
Gomez.
Gomez from Addams Family.
Yeah.
Looking at it now as an adult, it's really campy and really corny, but I think there's still that kid in me that loved it. So
I think I'd have to agree entirely. You know, when it came out, I really enjoyed it. I played the game a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That was a game I really liked. And you know, just seeing all the characters and who they pick and kind of how they do them is always interesting. How they fill some of those roles. So, fun movie. Some action that's not decent and some that's okay.
Right.
A little bit of jokes here and there, but campy is a good way to describe it.
Campy.
Along the same lines, let's go to Mortal Kombat. Let's talk about the game first.
The game I loved. I think I've played pretty much every adaptation of
15 different versions that have come out.
And so I loved that. And the movie, the second one not so much, but the first movie I thought was really good. And it's kind of the same with Street Fighter, where it's kind of campy here and there. It has really bad jokes and things like that. But for a video game adaptation, I thought it was pretty good.
I loved playing that video game.
Mm-hmm.
Adding the fatalities was great. So to see all those characters with their signature moves brought into the movie was cool.
Yeah.
Scorpion in that movie and Sub-Zero, they were pretty cool.
They were sweet.
Some of the graphics maybe haven't held up very well, but they're really cool. Johnny Cage was funny. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, the character Kano, the bad guy in there, like, I don't even know who played that dude, but that was a sweet character.
Yeah, they got him cast really well.
Yeah.
So definitely like that one. That one gets a thumbs up. I agree with you. The second one, probably not so much.
Yeah.
The next one is Resident Evil.
Haven't played the games too much. We've kind of discussed it before. I'm not a huge fan of like the spooky, scary stuff like that. I like scary movies, but not that kind. The movies were actually pretty cool. I think I've only seen the first two, and there's three or
there's
four.
Four, and the fifth one's coming.
Yeah, so I've only seen the first two. They were pretty good. Obviously they didn't get enough from me that I haven't seen the rest of them, so they get a pretty good for me, I guess.
I never played the game either, so I can't say. But this is one that I heard actually stuck really well to the plot of the game line. They did a really nice job of that, from what I understand. I have seen all four, and I would say all those movies are adequate. I don't know why I keep going back to that well and watching them as they come out, but I always think, well, the last one was okay, and I'll see this one, and they're all okay.
And they keep holding up?
Yep, they're all okay. I just watched the newest one, the fourth one, and I mean, it's exactly like the other four. There's not a lot of new plots that they're spinning in there, but decent enough movies, and Mila Jovovich, I like her, so good lead role.
Yeah, indeed.
Let's talk about a big game and a not big movie, Doom.
Doom. It was one of those games where it had like the spin-off books that kind of like continued the story from the game.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, sorry. For me, like, my brother and I played Doom all the time, and like my cousins played it and everything. Just a sweet game. Just it was not for kids.
The first-person shooter that kind of started them all. I mean, you kind of had Wolfenstein 3D, and then this took it to the next step that really caught on big time.
It was bloody and gory, and it was awesome, and just destroying aliens and everything.
You can see your little face down at the bottom.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. The movie, I regretfully have not seen all of it. I've caught 10-minute increments here and there, and from what I see, it looks really cool. Like, it looks like it might have the campy aspect to it, but kind of a theme with the video games. Just action-wise, I thought it looked pretty decent.
I don't think it got very good reviews. And I watched it a couple of years ago and didn't remember much about it, so I revisited it recently. and it was a lot better than I thought.
Yeah.
I like Carl Urban,
Yeah.
who's in it. The Rock is obviously in it, and he's kind of so-so, but I really like Carl Urban. He's a good actor. You know what? Some of the monsters are kind of fun, just because that's what these kind of games are about, are all the alien monsters. Yeah, a lot of action. I mean, it's pretty much straight through action.
Right.
So
Sweet.
I enjoyed it. I would say that's one of the better ones, actually. I don't think a lot of people would agree with me, but...
Right.
What about Hitman?
Hitman, I haven't seen the movie at all, but as far as the video game, I thought it was super fun. You know, I'm a big fan of like the Tom Clancy games where you sneak around killing people and stuff, and yeah, I really enjoyed Hitman. I think I've only played the first one, but
We'll reverse roles because I haven't played the game at all, but I have seen the movie. One of the main reasons I saw it is because they cast Timothy Olyphant as the lead Hitman agent.
Right.
47 or something, I think it is. I don't remember. And I'm a big fan of him. He does not look good bald though. Very forgettable movie.
Right. I remember when it was coming out, like everyone was talking about it, and then I didn't even hear about it when it actually came out.
Yeah, I remember right at the beginning there was a really cool scene that, you know, he was going for his guns in the hotel, and there's this big fight scene, and that's really the only thing I remember from it, and it wasn't that long ago. So I'm not going to say good or bad, I'm just going to say very forgettable. Yeah, that's what
I suppose that's fair.
What about Max Payne?
Max Payne is the same lines of Hitman. I haven't seen the movie. I've just caught, you know, the snippets from the previews and everything like that. I think it looks pretty sweet. Kind of looks like a Sin City type thing. And the game I've just played very little of, but it was, you know, along the same lines. It's kind of fun going around and shoot 'em up.
It was one of my favorite games when it came out. It kind of took the Matrix and turned it into a game. They had the bullet time that you could use to slow everything down, and then you could, you know, shoot the enemies, pick them off while you're flying through the air in slow motion. Really great adaptation of that effect. So really fun game. I liked that one a lot. The movie I didn't really enjoy. It stuck pretty close to the plot from what I remember of the game, but I don't know if it was just Mark Wahlberg cast or if it just wasn't done well, but I don't remember caring for that movie too much overall. I don't know. Here's a big one, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider, the game was super fun. Obviously, as, you know, a preteen boy, I wasn't playing it because of the story. You know, you just kind of be what it may. The movie, I don't know, it had its moments, but I think I just gotta straight up say it sucked.
Really?
I did not enjoy them. And the second one, I didn't even bother with that one, but that's my opinion.
I have not seen either movie, actually, and I always thought that they looked halfway decent for video game movies. Angelina Jolie, obviously, don't go wrong there too often, but yeah, I played the game, and I could see how it would make a great movie. I mean, Cave's adventure, it's kind of like Indiana Jones, but with a girl lead.
I didn't enjoy the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I will keep that in mind, and I will probably skip it. Them, 2 movies.
Yeah.
Prince of Persia.
Those I haven't actually played much of either, and I haven't seen the movie. So I guess I can't really put much into that. The movie looks good, the game looks fun, kind of an Assassin's Creed look to it, and I love Assassin's Creed, so I'd say it's probably decent.
I highly recommend the game. The game was a lot of fun. Instead of bullet time, this one has like a magic powder potion that you can turn back time.
The reverse time.
Yeah, your magic dagger turns back time, so you do something wrong, and then you have a little bit, you can go back and do it again until you run out of, you know, the many times you can do that. But that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of almost like parkour. You're like running on walls and doing things like that, which is a lot of fun in the game. The movie I thought was okay. Starred Jake Gyllenhaal. Just came out recently. Again, pretty forgettable. The action scenes were all right. Nothing spectacular. And I think it probably... And a lot of the times with these video games, they need to bump up to maybe that R rating. They need to have a little bit more action, a little bit more violence. You know, this one seemed very Disney. I don't know if it was Disney.
I think it actually was.
But it seemed Disney, you know, that type of movie. So, I don't know. Get the game, though. A lot of fun. What about Super Mario Bros? Maybe the biggest video game of all time.
You know, I don't think... You can't go wrong with the Mario games. I mean, any of the spin-off games, for me, They're awesome. The movie I saw in the theater with my brother and my grandma, and I remember being so pumped up for the movie, and as as a kid, I was probably like 7 or something like that. And when that came out, that was you couldn't get any cooler than Mario. Like that movie was just awesome, and it's one of those where I came back and watched it later, and I was like, wow, this movie was bad, but at the same time, it has that nostalgia aspect, so you kind of like, oh, it's not that bad, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't be my first movie to watch nowadays, but when I was a kid, I really liked it.
You're right about the game. The first Mario is my favorite Mario of them all.
I like Mario 3.
That one's, and the second one was kind of weird.
Yeah,
and the third one they kind of took it back to the first format. But the first one's my favorite. The movie, I saw it when I was a kid. I loved it a lot. I watched it again recently, and I still liked it. I actually think if you're looking at it as a Mario movie, maybe it's not so good because the only thing it has in relation to Mario is that their brothers named Mario and that they're plumbers.
Right.
I mean, other than that, there's not a lot of tie into the gameplay or anything.
Right. Koopa's not a huge dragon.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different, but as just a movie on its own, not related to the game, I think it's okay. Definitely one of the better ones that I've seen, I think. All right, that's our video game movie discussion, we'll call it, not a list. So go ahead and comment, let us know what you think. Is there other video game movies that we missed that you want to talk about? Let us know. And do you think these ones are good, bad, stupid?
Let us know what video games you'd like to see turned into movies.
That's a big one. There you go.
Check that out.
All right, speaking of comments, we got a comment finally late this week about our quote last week.
Yeah, on Facebook, Jake Weiser got the comment right. So,
congratulations,
congrats,
Jake.
Man.
Nice to hear from you, and let's take a look at last week's clip.
Did I just do that? Look, I don't know karate, but I know crazy.
Owen Wilson, Shanghai Noon.
He knows crazy.
He knows crazy. I like that movie. The sequel wasn't so great, but I enjoyed that one. Back when Jackie Chan was good and not horrible in everything that he made. Yeah. So that's last week's quote. Congratulations. This week's quote we have for you is, "You're messing with my Zen thing, man."
Man.
Kind of ties into our video game.
A little bit.
Sort of. If you can see the tie, you'll figure it out. If you do figure it out, where can they guess, Jared?
Anywhere and anywhere. Preferably Facebook, I guess, or you can hit us up on Twitter at Mancave Movies, or on the Area Voices site. We got
or the YouTube site,
or the YouTube,
or if you see us walking down the street, just tap us on the shoulder and tell us the answer. We'll still count it. It counts
for real.
All right, let's move on to movies coming out this week. I'm gonna go ahead and start.
Do it.
Very excited. Another Marvel movie's coming out. Captain America: The First Avenger, which is a cool title.
It's very cool.
Cool
I like
title. I'm really excited. If you've been watching the show, I love the comic book movies. Captain America is one of the greatest superheroes of all time. He's really old, started World War II. It's just Captain America. He's all American,
awesome.
You have to love this guy. He wears red, white, and blue everywhere he goes, and the shield is the most awesomest thing in the world. So...
Secondly, I guess coming out is Friends with Benefits.
Or is it No Strings Attached? Because
yeah.
One of them stars Ashton Kutcher, one of them stars Justin Timberlake.
One has Natalie Portman, one has Mila Kunis.
There you go. Put a couple of dream teams together out of those four, whatever.
So clearly we're not too stoked about that. But Captain America is coming out.
That's the big one. Go see that one. That's our show for this week. Stay tuned later in the week for a mini episode, and we will see you then. Our new quote for this week, if you can figure it out, put it down in the comments, is... It's
recording right now.
I know, I already sat down. I'm going to get back up just because you can't think of something.
I'll get back up.